All right, let's get going. So I've got this basic square shape. The whole inspiration behind this drawing is the How to Train Your Dragon movies. I'm a big fan of the artist who does those. Nico Marley is his name. He did all the art for How to Train Your Dragon, all the dragons in that. Studied his work a lot and really trying to get that feel. This guy's got a bunch more eyes than the dragons in that one, but that was kind of the feel I was going for here, just very shape-driven and a lot of different texture is kind of what I was going for on this one. So I have these big, strong shapes. See what's going on there. I kind of like what's going on there. You can see with the teeth, I'll even kind of draw in a general shape for the teeth and then kind of go in and draw up the details, all the different points. But I knew kind of what shape I wanted those teeth to make. I think originally I kind of wanted the tongue to be kind of hanging out of the mouth, but ended up having not as much room as I thought there with the mouth open. So I just decided to put the tongue inside the mouth. Throwing some different details in there. I want the spikes, I want the teeth, I want a lot of jagged, sharp edges to to kind of play off of the big, round, flat shapes that I've got going on with the eyes and the neck. He's a very bulky, round type of character, so these sharps kind of play off that rather well. Want to make sure that outline is nice and strong, especially with the teeth there. That way anything else that kind of comes in around it can read pretty easily as well. Doing a bit of detail, going around the whole drawing, just rough to more detailed is kind of what I'm doing there. Doing some of the belly or the neck there, getting some detail in that. Gonna go in and shade all these things. I like this guy. He turned out pretty well because of the contrast. I've got some really big black shapes in there. These spikes along his back. The inside of his mouth has some nice darks to it that play off well against everything else. Going to start going on the eyes now. And I'll just kind of go back and forth. Since I have 10 different eyes, I'm going to go in and I'll do a couple here. I'll do a couple here. Then I'll jump somewhere else. I'll do a couple. And so here I've started going in, and this is something that I wanted to talk about a bit, because a lot of times I'll talk about big, medium, and small, that you have big shapes, medium shapes, and small shapes. But I'm going in here something different, and you can kind of see some of the scales that I'm doing. And this is something that the guy in How to Train Your Dragon did a lot of, where he just went in with this intricate detail on these scales and just drew thousands and thousands and thousands of scales, which sounds insane, and it is insane. And actually my hand was kind of hurting when I was done with this drawing for all the little details I was doing. But I like it. And even though I'm not varying up those scales very much, they're all just a similar size and shape. It's not that design principle that I'm breaking. It's more of I want that textural feel. When I get done with it and you see you can almost run your finger over it and feel the bumps going on there. And that was the feeling I was going for there. So even though those shapes are very uniform and all very, same in size and shape and everything, that's what I was going for on that one. So that's where I break that rule of the big, medium, and small that I've got going everywhere else. I mean, you have the big shape of his snout, his jaw. You have this big, massive shape of his back. You have these smaller shapes. The corner of his mouth there is the jaw jutting out there a little bit. Even these folds kind of break up a little bit, bigs, mediums, and small shapes there. So I have these greater design principles going on even as I'm going in and doing this repetition. And that repetition almost lets your eyes just kind of glaze over it and just get this feel is what I was going for on this one. And I really like the feel of it. I really like how it looks in the end. Occasionally, because it takes a lot of work, I'll do something a bit simpler where you just show a couple scales here and there, a bit on the neck, a bit on the face, just to kind of suggest scales. But sometimes I want to go in and just really munch it up and just have that so you can just, like I said, you can feel it. So I'll go in here, I'm adding some stripes to the back of him, and as I do these, I'll color them in, and I've colored over some of these scales, so I need to go in again and do even darker scales so that the lines in between the scales even are working as well. But I really liked how that turned out, and then just a bit of variation, every now and then there's a darker scale, there's something going on, it's not all perfect, it's all very loose and organic. Now just going in, just getting these last details, making sure that silhouette is nice and strong, the darks are really dark. Go in there, really want to punch this and have it just stand out off of the page. And there you have it. Thanks for watching today's drawing. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment at the bottom if there's something specific you want to see drawn, and maybe it'll make it into a future video.